Hi, Timothy Carlson here. I'm really happy to see that 2025 is starting out with some Quentin Tarantino movies making their debut releases in 4K Ultra High Def. One of the releases that's come out from Lionsgate is this right here, Jackie Brown, which was the third film released by Quentin Tarantino. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Nice cover art there with the title character portrayed by Pam Grier. Sides of the spine. Back cover. Under the slip cover, the art is basically the same. There is a digital copy of the film included. And in here we have the film in 4K. Then we have a Blu-ray disc that has the film plus bonus features. I believe the Blu-ray is identical to the previously released one. Quentin Tarantino scores with an explosive mix of intense action and edgy humor in his twisty crime yarn, now presented for the first time in 4K. What do a sexy stewardess, a street-tough gun runner, a lonely bail bondsman, a shifty ex-con, an earnest federal agent, and a stoned-out beach bunny have in common? There's 6 players on the trail of $500,000 in cash. The only questions are, who's getting played and who's going to make the big score? Jackie Brown is an interesting situation because, unlike a lot of Tarantino movies, this one really doesn't get talked about that much. It came out between Pulp Fiction, which is hailed as a cinematic masterpiece, and Kill Bill, which came after, in 2 films, and that's also hailed as something of a Tarantino masterpiece. Jackie Brown tends to get lost in the shuffle a lot of the time, and that's a damn shame because this is actually one of the best movies Tarantino's ever made, certainly one of the most down-to-earth and human of the bunch. It also revived the career of Pam Grier, largely known as an blaxploitation actress back in the 1970s. Here she plays the title character, a distraught stewardess who's been doing some smuggling for a gun runner, but when she's captured by the feds, she has to make some decisions to turn her life around. Meanwhile, the man she works for, portrayed by Samuel L. Jackson, notices there's risk of his operation being discovered, so he has to take some steps to tie up loose ends, and Jackie Brown finds herself infatuated with a bail bondsman, portrayed by Michael Forster, another actor who was considered to be in the twilight of his career but got a nice revival here with his part. And there's a great supporting cast of other characters as well, including a stoned-out beach bunny played by Bridget Fonda, an ex-con portrayed by Robert De Niro, and there's even a minor part from Chris Tucker, and one of the government agents who apprehends Jackie is even portrayed by Michael Keaton. So you have a definite who's who of actors and actresses here. The film is based on the novel Rum Punch by Elmore Leonard, a man who certainly had a way with words, but Tarantino does manage to take Leonard's story and truly make it his own. There's a lot of money that's in Mexico that needs to be brought back to the United States, and Jackie Brown finds herself conflicted. I mean, does she get that money for her boss? Does she get it and give it to the feds to try to save herself from any further jail time? Or does she just find a way to take the money for herself? And over the course of time, of course, she develops feelings for the bail bondsman in question, and this further gives her a moral quandary. I'm not going to get too further into details because I don't want to go into spoilers, but Jackie Brown certainly keeps you guessing. It is one of the more down-to-earth, more human Tarantino films. There is violence, and when it comes, it is quite intense, but this movie is more character and dialogue-driven than it is violence-driven. And honestly, I think for Tarantino, that's kind of a nice change of pace, and it proves that he can do those kinds of movies extensively well, even if you never would have expected that. Probably the only problem I have with the movie is it's maybe a little too long. At about 2.5 hours, the runtime is a bit excessive, but overall the negatives certainly outweigh the positives. It might be Tarantino's most underrated movie, and dare I say it, maybe even one of his best. I'm happy to say that Jackie Brown looks absolutely beautiful in its 4K Ultra High Def debut. The movie looks very filmic and natural. It's clear there's been no unwanted noise reduction applied here. Natural film grain is intact. It can be sharp and detailed when it has to be, and the addition of HDR really works wonders for a lot of lighter and darker scenes alike. It is a beautiful looking disc, and I have absolutely no complaints in that regard. And we do get a ton of bonus features on that older Blu-ray that's included here, including some trailers for older Robert Forster and Pam Grier films. There's, the obligatory EPK stuff, and there's even the review that Siskel and Ebert did for the movie on here. So, again, I don't believe there's any new bonus content on this release, but if you're a fan, there's certainly plenty to watch there. I can easily give this release of Jackie Brown a pretty high recommendation, easily one of Tarantino's best and most underrated films. How about you? What do you think of Jackie Brown? Where would you put this on your list of the Quentin Tarantino films? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Tilly T. Carlson. See you next time.